Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This will be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below. And I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Please remember that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. And it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel. If you really want to see what's up, and be sure to tell a family, friend, or foe, or to come on over and subscribe to the channel so they can be privy to these spiritual notifications. There is no space in this place for everyone to be notified. All are welcome on this channel, and all contributions are highly appreciated. Okay. All right. What does the collective need to know for their highest good at this time? What does the collective need to know for their highest good at this time? One second, ladies and gentlemen. The first card that we have here, collective, is the universe number 21. Okay, we have the universe here. So this card here is indicating, Spirit is conveying that we live in a big world, and as I always say, we are smaller worlds living within many worlds. We all have our own simulation. We all have our own idea of what life is and what life means to us. If you were to ask any number group of people what happiness is to them or what's more important, you would receive a different answer. And so the universe is conveying to you to not be so hard on yourself when it comes to your happiness, things you desire in your life, making decisions and choices. I'm picking up on the energy of someone who has possibly been indecisive when it comes to making a clear and accurate decision based on this could be a relationship, maybe whether you want to be single, whether you want to be married, should you get married by a certain age, whether you want to go to school to further your education, or do you want to be an entrepreneur. And so I'm picking up on someone who has been indecisive and been going back and forth in their minds. And Spirit is clearly conveying that the world we live in is a very huge place, but there are worlds beyond your world. And so what your spirit team is conveying for you to make your life a path of your own, make your mission, your journey, a life of your own. You do not have to imitate or duplicate the idea or stereotypes that someone may have or may be projecting onto you, making you feel as if you have to do things in a certain way. You need to get married by a certain age. You better go to college or else, or, you better live over here and you better eat this and you better do that. Spirit is saying it's okay for you to learn and grow on your own. You do not need permission to be great, nor do you need permission to live your life and exercise your own personal free will. No two humans are alike. We are all uniquely, individually, divinely created. And we're supposed to, Spirit is saying, experience a different life, experience different opportunities, we would not be able to learn from each other if we all, were the same collective, if we did everything the same way. And so it's natural for us to be different. It's natural for you to maybe make a choice or a decision for your own personal life that may be outside the norm or the traditional route that your family or a group of people who you may be in connection with, may be in agreement with or take. It's okay to be uniquely different. And so the next card we have here is the Ace of Swords. And so Spirit is saying you are receiving clarity on this. There's no need for you to be indecisive. Everything is where it needs to be according to actions that have been taken. And so don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so critical of you. Don't allow the opinions and don't allow the influence from the opinions of people outside of you to cause you to be so hard on yourself. You are where you want to be because that's where you want to be. And there's nothing more or less that needs to be explained. And also, you need to get into the habit of not feeling like you owe an explanation of everything that you're doing. As long as you're not hurting or affecting anyone, you owe no one an explanation, okay? You're not socially obligated, nor are you obligated to explain every little step you take in your life. You know, why are you doing it, when, and how? It's really no one's business. If you choose to share your information, that's your business. You have free will to do so. But I'm picking up on the energy of someone who is just being very critical and hard on themselves because they're measuring, they're looking to their left and their right, and they're measuring the status of their current life compared to others. And so what's for another person may not be for you, just because maybe your cousin is married or you have siblings that are married. Maybe you're meant to be single on this path or in this life, not to be cruel or cold or project negative energy, because that's not negative. Spirit is saying what someone else is experiencing or demonstrating, or what you are observing, is not for you. We're not put here to duplicate and imitate. And the problem is, the things that we were programmed to believe and think that is something that we must do or else. Spirit is saying, the divine is saying, you're not going to be loved any less if you're not able to get married. You're not going to be loved any less if you're not able to obtain a college degree. You're not going to be loved any less if you don't wear designer brands. You're not going to be loved any less if you don't have a huge following on social media. You're not going to be loved any less if you shop at a certain place. Those things are lies that we are taught to follow. We're taught to be trendy, the cool ones, and then the word weird. The word weird itself, I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it, because when you think of the word weird, what is weird? Someone who's not following a tradition. So they are viewed and they're under observation of others who are calling them what? Different. And so they put a tag on it and they call it weird. So this is just an example. When I think of the word weird, it does not exist to me. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it, because it's really okay to be you. It's really okay to stand in your authenticity. Doesn't matter if you don't dress like other people. Doesn't matter if you don't talk or walk like other people. You may have a unique hairstyle. You may be very expressive in your clothing of how you present yourself. It's okay to do that. And if you are around collective people who are trying to make you feel inferior because of your individuality, then it's time to do some inventory and possibly allow those connections to fall to the wayside. You need not to kick yourself or create stagnation by allowing these things to lower your self-esteem or make you feel that you're not worthy, you're not loved, you're not beautiful, you're not handsome. Everyone has their own idea of what pretty is, just like everyone has their own idea of what success and happiness is. And so they're saying for you to stand on the things that I am talking about. You need to reflect on them and stand on your individuality and love who you are. It does not matter. You could be someone who loves polka dot and plaid clothing, and maybe this is in your wardrobe. You have a lot of plaid, you have a lot of polka dots, and you love wearing them. You even have polka dot socks. And guess what? It's okay to wear that. It's okay to be you. And once again, anyone who has a problem with you being yourself, who is requesting or trying to intrigue you to dim your light, these are the connections that we need to allow to fall to the wayside. Does not matter if they're family or not, because the longer you allow yourself to be around these people, they are planting seeds of doubt, and they are also affecting your ability to walk into your purpose, because they are affecting your self-esteem. And even if it's family, you don't have to tolerate nonsense or disrespect. And the phrase, "Oh, you tripping," I was just playing. No, no, no. If it's repetitively, and you've expressed you don't like it, this is something they keep doing, this is a connection you need to let fall to the side. It's a big old world. We are smaller worlds living within a bigger world. There are many worlds beyond the human mind and understanding. Spiritually speaking, there are other dimensions, there are other things popping non-stopping. So go ahead and be you. Okay, go ahead and be you. You do not have to look like. And I'm also picking up on someone who could have someone who they admire or respect. This could also be someone in your family who acts as if they are embarrassed of you. Maybe if there's a gathering, or maybe the family is linking up to go somewhere, whether it's out to dinner, whether it's to church, doesn't matter where it is. And I'm picking up on someone who makes you feel insecure about your image. Maybe your clothing, maybe your style, maybe the way you talk, maybe because you don't speak the way they speak. They give you an energy as if they are embarrassed or ashamed of you. Once again, collective, these are people whom you're supposed to allow to fall to the side. And if you are in a relationship where your spouse make you feel this way, this is a relationship you need to let fall to the side. You don't need to question why someone is choosing to disrespect you, because often the energy that people project, they are often speaking from who they are. They're speaking from, they're letting you know who they are, first of all, and they're speaking from their core. They're showing you who they are, so you should respect it and honor it. You cannot change who they are. And that's why it's important to sever ties. It's important to learn how to let those relationships and connections go. You can't spend your life trying to argue or check people on who they are, or why are you treating me that way? I wish you stop. The fact that you've addressed it once and there's a need to address it twice, there's your answer right there. They're letting you know that they could care less about your feelings, your emotions, or your well being. So, why would you want to assert yourself around someone who wants to tear you down, around someone who wants you to have low self esteem, or they want to basically assist in creating blockages from you walking in your purpose and standing in your true nature? Okay. And so, with the hermit energy here, this is a good time for you to go within, to spend time with Source, connect with your ancestor, have some silent time to yourself. If you're not into meditation, get out into nature, find a way to recalibrate your energy, but it will only worsen the more you allow yourself. The more you allow yourself to be around people who are not on your frequency, low vibrational people, people who want to deliberately and purposely, intentionally make you feel bad, say things to slander your character, try to belittle you, try to poke at your self esteem. They want to break your spirit. They want to put you in a position of, being sad and being saturated in the energy of having pity on yourself, where you won't feel encouraged or inspired to do more in your life. Trust and believe, collective. People are very well aware of what they are saying to you. And I gotta say it because this might be somebody who says this to you. Oh, I was just playing. You so sensitive. No, you're so disrespectful, and it needs to stop. As a matter of fact, you don't have to stop. I'm going to remove myself, is the energy that you need to be in. Okay. Give yourself the justice that is due. You do not need to become upset. You do not need to check anyone. Simply remove yourself. And they're saying for you to give yourself that justice. There is someone who keeps showing up to a person or a group of people, family, friends, your man, co-worker, neighbors, whomever, and they're disrespectful repetitively. They won't stop. Every time you show up, every time you're in the room, every time you're around, they just keep going and going. I'm also picking up, you may have bought maybe someone you're dating, a friend, an associate around these acquaintances, and they still try to like humiliate you in front of people. You have to not be around these people. The reason these things keep happening is because you're receiving a spiritual nudge from source, from the universe, from your ancestors, that these are people for you not to be around. So things will keep happening. You will stay on that karmic hamster wheel moving fast but going nowhere until you choose to surrender these people and these connections. The more you go around them, the more jokes they will crack, the more they will make fun of you, the more they will body shame you. You could have someone in your family or someone who loves to critique your weight, tell you that you're fat, you need to lose weight, or your stomach is big, or you shouldn't wear that. Those kind of things you need not to allow. It's disrespect. It's not about being insecure. It's just a pure, honest level of them letting you know, hey, I have no respect for you. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you by every time you keep showing up to my presence, I'm going to keep disrespecting you. So that's a spiritual nudge. Your spirit team is wanting you to get the lesson. And so that's why it keeps happening. You could be saying to yourself, the more I go over so and so house, they always got something to say. They always got something to say because you always showing up. And so your spirit team is saying for you to learn the lesson, to get it, learn the lesson of how to let these people fall to the side. Let your fall back game increase. It has to be 10 times as strong. Okay. The next card we have here is the Five of Wands energy, okay? This is energy of competition. You could have people who come off as if they don't like you, but deep down inside, you could be competition. You could be someone very smart, very witty, someone who has had a lot of accolades, someone who possibly made good grades in school. Maybe you graduated college with honors. Maybe you're very independent, self-efficient, okay? And so you could make people feel jealous or envious to the point where they want to be competitive with you. Even if you're a kind person, there are people who want to be competitive even if they don't know you, I'm picking up. And so you could have people, trying to compete where they can't compare, because if no two humans are alike, it's not a fair competition. And because we're uniquely, individually, divinely created, there's no need to compete at all. And so you are aware of this. And if you're not, you're receiving clarity in this read. This is not a coincidence. This is simply your confirmation to stop addressing, stop, you don't have to check anyone. Stop addressing the issue, leave these people where they be. You don't have to announce your arrival or your departure. Simply stop showing up. Stop opening your door to your home. Stop answering your phone. Don't respond to their text messages, their email. Leave these people where they be. Allow no one to treat you like you're scum up under a boot. Don't allow them to treat you like the old gum that's up under the school desk. And that gum is old and hard and cruddy and stale beyond stale. Do not allow these people to treat you like that. They are desiring, the Six of Wands came out upside down. They are desiring for you to be in a failure position. They want you to have self-doubt. They want you to have limited beliefs about yourself, So they want you to be in that energy of not believing in yourself. And that's the whole goal. People know what they are doing. The first moment that someone shows you who they are, you need to honor the gift of separation and let it be. You will meet new people. No one comes in our life to stay forever. And we know that through, I'm pretty sure, the loss of a loved one. No one is put here, to be in our lives forever. Sad to say, sometimes a person may transition. Sometimes a person may just go their own way for many reasons. Maybe they're relocating. Maybe you fell out with them, or maybe you decided just not to take their ish and leave them alone. Okay, but no one is put in your life for you to keep showing up and let them treat you like you're a punching bag. It makes no sense. You're not going to get a gold star for allowing people to use you, and mistreat you. You're just not, or being the flunky or being the docile one in the group that says nothing, you hold their head down, and I really want to say it, but I don't. No one's coming to give you a brownie point for that. You have to save yourself. You are the MVP, the most valuable player. You are the golden star. And so it's up to you to save yourself. you know and the more the moment you begin to recognize this energy and just remove yourself, and I'm saying remove yourself without explaining, remove yourself without being confrontational, because they want to get you in that energy too. There are people who will deliberately try to provoke you. They may want to get you into a confrontation so they can fight you or get physical with you or try to harm you. You want to get in the habit of just not giving people two and three chances. The first time they show you who they are, believe them and never, ever, ever entertain a peasant again with your presence. Wholeheartedly so, expeditiously, swift and accurate. Never return. There's no reason. Give them none of your energy and none of your power, period. With the seven of coins here, it's time for you to plant seeds that are fruitful and not fruitless within yourself. It's time for you to go where you are celebrated and not tolerated, and give yourself nothing less than the best. You don't need permission to be great, but you need to know that nobody wants it more than you. No one is going to want you to be more happier than you. No one is going to want you to be more healthy or successful or victorious, than you. No one is going to want you to be more confident than you. There's no one or nothing outside of you that's going to root for you or love you more than you first. So you have to always make sure that cup is overrunning with you pouring into you before you distribute anything. But most of all, recognizing who does not belong and allowing them to fall to the side, immediately, keeping them away from you, making it a ritual of keeping all that negative energy and haters away from you. Anyone that shows any envy or that they're non supportive or they have no respect for you, let it be. And do not fall for the, you so sensitive. I was just playing. No, 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 no. See, that is a trick. That is a trick. You can't take a joke. No, I don't take disrespect. It's just that simple, okay? So stand in your leadership qualities here with the emperor here. Stand in your leadership qualities, care less about anyone's opinion of you. Be who you are wholeheartedly, stand in your authority. As I was speaking, you may be someone who's very expressive and unique or unorthodox in your style of dressing. You're one of a kind, okay? Your wardrobe could be considered to be very daring, okay? You could be in some kind of like some kind of gothic style. You like dark clothing. That's beautiful. Rock it. Maybe you wear black lipstick. Maybe you love the black eyeliner. That's beautiful. Wear it. Rock it. It's your life. It's your body. It's your face. I mean, I would give no ucks. Let your middle finger grow and sometimes flex it when necessary. Let it grow. It's time to just really not care because you don't want to perish from planet Earth with the shoulda, woulda, coulda theory. I wonder where my life could have been if I would have been more confident and not allow people to get to me. No one wants to perish, and with the shoulda, woulda, coulda theory, and many move forward and grow within age and have regrets. You could be someone who's very confident. You're so confident you're willing to step out on faith. You're not afraid to get on a stage. You could be someone who's not afraid to be vocal. And that could disturb people, collective. That could bother people. They want to know where you get your confidence from. Who are you to be confident and I lack confidence? How dare you, collective? You could have people around you with that kind of energy. There are folks who envy peace and contentment, okay? But it's none of your business of why. This is just a spiritual notification to be mindful and to love yourself and stop dealing with these kind of people because you have been very hard on yourself. And Spirit is saying that's not your energy. That's the idea and the repetition, collective. That's the repetition of you consistently allowing yourself to be entertained by the wrong company. So watch the company that you keep. Be mindful. No one is that lonely that they're going to allow themselves to be mistreated and disrespected. Confirmation with the train by anyone. The next card we have here is the Five of Swords. Okay. So these people could be dealing with conflict, could be pretty sure they are, most likely within themselves. Conflict that has nothing to do with you. And so that's another golden objective of this read for you to stop, creating, allowing the conflict to build within you. It's like you're picking up their energy. This conflict is within in them. It's not yours. And they're projecting it onto you when they mock you, make fun of you, tease you, body shame you, talk about your clothing, anything, you know, uh, tell you you're not good enough, or you need to change this or change that, or I don't see how you live over there, or why are you driving that car, or why do you shop over here, and you should put more black pepper in the potato salad, and that's the wrong kind of cheese for the macaroni, and just this is energy within them. These people are full of conflict and imbalance. And I'm also picking up, you may be someone, you may be saying, well, they have more than me, material wise. You could be single, they could be married. You could live in an apartment, they could have a beautiful 4 to 5 bedroom home. You could work a part-time job, they could may have went to college and have a job that they've been on 20 plus years with their own private office, and you could be measuring and looking like, well, they have more material than me. I'm single, they're not. Why aren't they happy? It could be something that mentally you've been trying to figure out. This is your confirmation today, collective, and you know who you are. This is your confirmation. And you're trying to figure out, like, what is it? Because it's not the material things. True happiness comes from within. And these people are full of conflict. And just because a person has more materialism, material items, a bigger house, a different car, more purses, more shoes, well, know that those things come with a contract and come with an obligation. And when I say contract, there's an upkeep and there's a maintenance. The more things you obtain, you have to maintain them. And so these people could be full of conflict. Maybe they have too many responsibilities. Maybe their bills are getting to them. Yes, they may be married and you're single, but maybe their marriage is not happy. Maybe they're tolerating each other. Maybe they're tolerating each other for survival reasons, and they keep this on the inside. They smile and kiki, but they're really spiritually disheveled on the inside. The inside is a mess. The inside is just very dark. Their demons are constantly being stirred up. They're full of conflict, and that's why they are competitive. They do not love themselves. They do not know who they are, even though they have more material things. Don't be fooled, collective. True happiness and true love comes from within. You have to love yourself first. You have to be happy with you first. The other things that we obtain in life, it is okay to buy nice things. It is okay to have material things, but those things will not sustain your soul, meaning they will not sustain your ability to be happy and love yourself. It has to be pure and natural in the inside. And so that's why you may have been in a battle like, these people have more than me. They have a career, they're able to vacation. But guess what? Those vacations cost money. These people live a life that is maybe beyond them. You'd be surprised. Not everybody, but there is a large portion of people who are pump faking. You'll be surprised of how many people are stressed and overwhelmed and is allowing their health to be declined because they're pump faking. They're living a facade. They want to maintain an image instead of being honest with themselves. There's nothing wrong with wealth. There's nothing wrong, with being a millionaire or having all the labels in the world. But where the problem come in is when you're in conflict with yourself, when you're doing things to be competitive, you know, purchase things because these are things that you desire, that you want to enjoy. Those are extra blessings. The problem comes when you're in conflict with yourself, when you're living beyond your means, where there's so much stress and aggravation in your household, in your relationship, and when you leave your home, you're projecting it onto people such as my collective. You're projecting it at work onto your coworkers. You're projecting it at church onto the church members. You're projecting it onto the neighbors. You're projecting it through your family, to your sisters, your uncles. Everyone you see, you want to throw your mess on somebody because on the inside, you're full of conflict. You have a lot of untapped potential that you have chosen not to tap into, and you're just not satisfied. And that's what it is, collective. These people, though they may have more materially, they have more obligations, and it becomes eventually it becomes a maintenance. It becomes and upkeep. They have to upkeep this image or this facade, you know. And then it gets to the point where their relationship is unhappy, but they don't want to leave that. So they stay in the unhealthy relationship, you know, giving away their life source, giving away their power, constantly depleting and draining themselves. And they're so stirred up and disheveled that they know nothing but to project it outwardly. They're not willing to heal it. They're not willing to surrender it. They don't want to go talk to nobody. You know, they don't want to leave the unhealthy marriage or live in spouse situation, you know, but they're very miserable. They're just tolerating each other. You know, we have businesses tied up. We have assets together. Or I'm going to wait till my pension come in. I'm going to wait till this happen. And then I'm going to do this and do that, you know. So that's what it is. Don't be fooled. Do not think because you see a lot of material things, or a person may have three, four cars and maybe you have one. I don't know why they pick on me. Every time I see them, they talking about my hair. Well, telling me I need to stop shopping at that store. My shoes are cheap. Well, guess what? You're happy with your cheap shoes. You know, you're happy with your hairstyle. You know, meanwhile, they're going to the beautician. They have a stylist, they may pay 150 every week or every 2 weeks, but this person could be in debt. I'm just giving you examples. This person could be in natural debt trying to keep up with the Joneses. This person could be having all kind of financial issues, that is just draining and depleting them. And in actuality, I'm picking up there are some who are living by a thread, like by a thread, they're almost about to snap and lose it because things are just that bad personally within their life and within their household. Things are just that bad, but it becomes a habit, it becomes competition, which we have out here with the Five of Wands, and it becomes a habit, it's like they get thrown into a loop. Instead of just being grateful and saying, this is something I desire, I'm going to purchase this trip, for me and my family. No, it becomes a habit because they may see someone else post a picture on social media. Oh, now I got to compete with them and I got to snap pictures. Just go enjoy your vacation. When you get back, post your pictures. Okay. And so what I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with having the finer things in life. Those are the extra blessings and favor and opportunity that we are to receive and enjoy. There's nothing wrong with being wealthy, but it's the intention behind what you're doing. It's the reasoning behind it. And it's also about being honest with yourself. And these are people, who aren't honest with themselves. They're not living in their authenticity. And it could envy somebody, once again, collective, because you're willing to be yourself. You're willing to be you. And they could look at you like, wow, the collective is really happy. Wow, they got that one bedroom apartment. They happy. Wow. It's in the hood, but they happy. Meanwhile, they going to their 4 or 5 bedroom house, They're going to pay they might got a $3,000, $4,000 mortgage. You never know what somebody is dealing with because there are obligations, there are contracts. It comes with a lot. They say the more money you make, the more bills you are likely to create. There's more obligations. And then it becomes a habit, unbeknownst to the person that has unpure intentions. It becomes a habit. Then it becomes an upkeep. I gotta have. From doing something repetitiously, I gotta have. I gotta do this. I gotta shop there. I gotta. After they then probably had a conversation with their spouse, like, look, we gotta be careful what we're doing. You're overspending. No, I gotta have. I gotta have that bag. I'm going to do it anyway. I know it may empty our bank account, but they may have the attitude, no, I gotta have it because they want to maintain an image. When you on the other side collective, you could care less about an image. You're just living your life. It doesn't matter to you. You may shop at a thrift store. What's wrong with that? You may accept hand-me-downs. What's wrong with that? You may wear labels, and there's nothing wrong with that. You may wait till they're on sale and get them on discount, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the same way you could be wondering, oh, they have more. Why are they picking on me? Why do they treat me this way? They're looking at you like you by yourself. You a one-man army, male or female. You could be a man also in this position. And you have a guy friend who's got the family, the kids, the wife, and you could be a bachelorette, and they looking at you like, you're independent. You mean to tell me the collector really happy? And they could see it and feel that you're really happy. And they could desire that happiness. Just your smile, your energy. It could be material then for some people. It could be just your energy, collector. Just because they know that you're happy. A person can feel your vibration. They can feel your joy. They can feel your happiness. And that's why energy vampires like to pull on people, who have that high frequency, who carry that light with them. Because they can feel it. They know you got that vibe. So surrender. This is not your energy. This is the haters, people around you trying to make you feel bad. Spirit is saying everything is where it's supposed to be according to your contract and previous actions that have been taken. That is really nobody's business. It's between you and source. What's for you will never pass you by, collective. The things you are experiencing are written in the stars for you. That's personal. That's between you and source. That's between you and divine, you and your higher self. It has nothing to do with anybody else outside of you. Though they want to be in the business of minding your business, it's really none of their business. Excuse me. So you can rest assured, with the Four of Swords here, you can rest. You can relax. You can surrender and let it go and know that that's not your energy. Practice that spiritual hygiene. Get out into nature. Get you a scripture. Do some cleansing. That's not your energy. It's the people around you. Confirmation again. It's the people around you projecting because you're sending off that reflection. As we witness each other progress in life, we're supposed to be inspired and encouraged, not jealous, not envious, not mad, not feeling like we want to sabotage, but you're sending off a reflection that happiness is possible, no matter whether you're married or you're single, no matter where you live. Happiness is possible, no matter what's in your bank account or how you dress or what your body looks like or how much you weigh or how long your hair is or what kind of shoes you got. You are sending a reflection. It's a reflection of reality that happiness is possible. Do you know, collective, what that feels like for an unhappy person who's got all these material things going on? All these obligations and bills and debt and unhappy relationship and is hell at home to pay. You're not getting along with your spouse. I'm picking up on somebody projected on you who may not even be sleeping with their spouse, whether they're married or they have a living partner. They're not even intimate with their significant other. Things are that jacked up, and they may keep this to themselves. And you sending that reflection. Look at the demeanor, like, Well, look at her. See? Well, look at him being all happy and all peaceful and content. And all this time, I thought it was the materialism. I thought if I had more, bigger, and better, that I would be able to compete and stand out and be better. But I'm only just miserable. All I have is a bunch of debt, and I'm constantly working all this overtime. I'm unable to retire because I'm trying to keep up an image, a facade. I have gotten in over my head. I can't stay out the store. I'm buying stuff I don't need. Not receiving love at home. Is chaos at home, chaos within me, chaos in the finances, possibly chaos with their own children, collective. All my relationships are just unhealthy. That's painful. You strike a mighty blow. You're more powerful than you know. You're more powerful than you know. You're extremely powerful. You're not afraid to be creative. And you're enthusiastic about being creative. You express your enthusiasm through your creativity, through your wardrobe, how you carry yourself, how you keep showing up and living. People envy this. It's the little things. Little things, it's the little things, and the joy it brings. It's the little things. It's really the little things, NDRE. It's the little things. It's not the big things. And that's what this person, I can't, this hater, they keep telling me to hold the hater up. That's what it is. They thought that it was everything else outside of the little things. And you're sending that reflection. Each and every day they see you, they hear your name, you're sending that reflection. That is not what they thought. They're like, wait a minute, I done created a mountain of debt. All this friction going on. And you mean to tell me all I had to do was just love myself? Wow. You mean to tell me that love is not in things? That that's temporary pleasure? Wow. You mean to tell me that the negative energy I put out will come back to me? Wow. You got these people in shock. You're powerful. You're powerful. What else collective need to know regarding this hater? These haters. It's the little things and the joy that it brings. The little bitty things. Great fortune always favors the bold. You're very brave, you're very courageous, and you're confident. And they may talk about your clothing or where you live, what you drive, or how you talk, or what you do. You could be on social media, I don't know. Maybe they watch your videos and try to mock you, but guess what? They wish they had that bravery on the inside. It's irritating them. It's making their back itch, the center part preferably. Or maybe the shoulder where they can reach over a bit and get a little scratch. They want that confidence and they don't have it. And so these kind of people are people who can only look and be negative or look and critique, pretty often on social media. It's pretty straightforward. A person is either, they're coming to be influenced by something or they coming just to project that they're a hater. It's nothing more or less. They're either coming to be influenced or they're coming to show you that they're a hater. And it doesn't matter what they type in the comment section. It really doesn't matter because it's what I just said. They're either coming to be influenced in a positive way or they come to show that they're a hater. Like, there's nothing else to say. The next one, we have the Wheel of Fortune. 10, that represents completing cycles, closing out old cycles. So Spirit is saying it's time to close it out. Because the world is a big old place. Why don't you get off the porch? Okay. They want you to continue to expand and let these people fall to the side, no longer deal with them, and trust that new people will be placed in your life for you to make memories with, to hang out with, to spend time with. Let these people fall to the side. You can love a person from a distance and not be in their energy or ever communicate with them again. You can really surrender them, leave them where they are, and never deal with them again. Yeah, there's a lot of people out here just spiritually disheveled. They messed up, collective, and they know what they're doing. Don't let nobody say, "Oh, you tripping," or "You too sensitive." No, you just disrespectful, and I'm not going to allow it. Is what you say. No, you're disrespectful, and I'm not going to allow it. Okay. You are the teacher. You are teaching lessons. And they are learning through you, through observation. I told you your presence and the observation of you is very powerful, more powerful than you believe, more powerful than you know, collective. Extremely powerful. Okay? They want you to be in the energy of uncertainty. And it didn't work. It won't work. You know why? It's not written in the stars for you. And so, since they're wishing this on you, bum, 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 boomerang time, it must return to who? Its rightful owner. Confirmation. It must return to its rightful owner. So, they are the ones who are uncertain. They are the ones who are confused. They are the one on a hamster wheel, moving fast, going nowhere, accumulating more debt, buying more things they know they don't need, engaging consistently in gossip and slander, to a point that the people around them may want to disassociate or may want to not hear it anymore. I picked that up in a read yesterday that someone was talking so much and so negatively about someone that the people they were talking to became fed up with them, and like everyone started to like not come around them, not call them. When they sat down in the break room at work, people were likely to get up from the table, go eat somewhere else. People started to run from them because they like, this is the bone carrier. What they are planning, it has to return. Wanting you to be confused, wanting you to have a tower moment. Bum, 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 bum. There's the boomerang. It has to return to who? Its rightful owner. So these are things that they are dealing with, okay? You are teaching them a lesson just by your mere presence. You're not doing anything to them, but just your presence. The things they are experiencing, this is energy that they are inflicting on themselves by trying to project onto someone. And this energy is unwarranted, it's unnecessary. You're not doing anything to these people. You're being yourself. You're standing in your authenticity. And I'm also picking up, oh wow, this is deep and this is beautiful what I'm about to say. That's real beautiful. It's really freaking cool. Um, Whoever you are who is unique with your clothing, people may call you weird, make fun of you. It's something about your sense of style is part of your gift. Your sense of style is part of your gift. Do not change who you are. I've said it, but I really uh don't change who you are. It's part of your gift. The fact that you are someone, it's something about your fashion. You're supposed to stand out, you're supposed to be different. And because you are a teacher, your unique style is part of your gifts, just like being the catalyst, which is a teacher to people around you. It is all part of your gift. I hope I'm explaining that right. And your spirit team is saying, do not change it. It's part of your gift. You could like, how can I say this? Clothing, ooh, I don't know how to say this, but clothing, uh, you're just very different with your clothing style, but it's part of your gift. And you're also a teacher, you're a catalyst. You're supposed to, your presence, just being around certain people. And sometimes this is happening and you may not even be aware of it, whether you know someone personally or you cannot even know them. Not everyone, but you are put in place in spaces and places at a particular time on specific dates so that people can just come across your aura or your energy. There's something about your wardrobe, the uniqueness. If you wear bright colors, keep wearing them bright colors. If you're into gothic wear, if you love wearing your black, keep doing it. Do not change it. Do not turn down who you are. More confirmation. It's part of your gift. It's part of your gift. It helps. It helps. It helps initiate the process. You're very magical. You're very powerful. And there are like-minded people who are out there just like you. We may be spread it out worldwide, but you will come across people who share like-minded energy or people who are decent folk. Okay, folks who are kind like you are kind. People who aren't deliberately waking up each and every day looking for someone to tear down or someone to hurt because they're hurt. And we know hurt people love to hurt people. So there are kind people out here. There are good people out here, both male and female, and they want you to know that. And these people who have caused you this disrespect or making you feel bad about yourself, they're just hurt. They're just hurt people, and they want you to feel what they feel. So in this moment, dust your shoulders off and allow that middle finger to flex and grow longer and stronger. Okay, these people feel like they are in situations, especially if this is a relationship or a marriage that they want to get out of, but they can't because of financial issues, or they're worried about having a lifestyle change. I'm hearing if they were to leave a certain person, even if they're not married, this could be someone who has a living spouse, and they feel like if they separate themselves, that they would have to make changes. They don't want to just drive one car. They want to have access to the surplus, and they know if they were to separate from this person, that's just an example. Okay, they know that would change. Maybe this person um, has certain connections, and they're staying with them for that. Okay, this person could be an entrepreneur, and because they are connected, because they are who they are, their spouse may bring them more clientele, or there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of things tied up with these people on the inside, in their relationships, in their home, and spiritually speaking, they're very disheveled and they feel stuck. But it's time for you to let it all go, and let it flow, let it all go, and allow these new people, places, and things to enter your life. Sorry about that, but allow these new people, places, and things to enter your life. You're on the right path. You're on the right path. There's nothing wrong with you. But your clothing, that is very cool and it's beautiful. Wow, I've never picked up on that before. That is fly. You're dope. You're cooler than cool. You don't know how cool you are. You are so cool. Oh, wow. Wow. And they're saying, don't worry about it. We got you. Here's the Ace of Coins. We got you. Ambition, okay? Prosperity, more opportunities. We got you. Don't worry about it. We got you. Okay? Yeah. Cut off ties with anyone who has ever said anything disrespectful or done anything disrespectful or to hurt your feelings. Never mind apologies. Because I'm picking up, these are people who have repetitively, just continue, after you express you didn't like it, they just keep doing it. And Spirit is saying if you accept their apology and keep going around them, it's going to worsen. It could possibly worsen to, you speaking up saying you don't like something, one word leads to another, then there's an altercation. You don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that. Okay? It's about love and balance. You balancing yourself out, standing in authority here with the King of Cups, rising to the occasion. Okay, look how fierce that picture is. Rising to the occasion. They may have tried to treat you as if you were less than, but rising to the occasion. And you can do that by just not dealing with these people. And do it silently. You don't have to announce your arrival or your departure. You don't have to tell nobody, oh, I'm about to stop talking to you today. No, just don't open your door. Don't answer that phone, that text, that email. Don't accept no invites. Don't accept no invites. Don't go where you know they are. Leave these people alone. Leave them alone, because it will increase to a situation that you will regret. They will try to provoke you to the point where it may lead to confrontation. Because let me tell you, bullying is not a funny thing, a key thing. Being a bully can be very dangerous. Whether you are a child, a teenager, an adult, could be very dangerous. You could push a person. You could keep poking at the bear, and you could push a person past their limits, and you be in a situation that you can't turn back from. It's very dangerous to be a bully. And the person that you think is afraid of you, they're not afraid of you. Just because a person does not act does not mean they're afraid. But who wants to do all that? Catch a case, all that, going to court. Well, when all that can be avoided and you can keep your freedom and live your best life. Okay? and enjoy. Enjoy the abundance, enjoy the prosperity, enjoy your security with new energy, new like-minded energy. Okay? So this concludes the read. I trust and hope that it assisted you for your highest good. Later.